All right, welcome. This is Tsunami. I like to do my little videos in like a series kind of thing. So right now, this is the little drunk chapter in our series. Obviously, I am f***ed up if you watched the last video, but if you didn't, I'm f***ed up on. But it's okay. We're not trying to drink anymore. Instead, we're going to use this state of mind to comment on a video from the Whatever podcast. It's titled Jay Waller versus Mia Khalifa. I'm assuming Jay Waller is the guy's name, and Mia Khalifa is they're making fun of Farrah because she looks like Mia Khalifa. She's attractive though, but I'm just saying she looks like Mia Khalifa. She doesn't, but they say she does because she's Indian and has big tits and has her OnlyFans and blah 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 blah. But anyhow, I am going to comment on the video. I watched a little bit of the clip, but if you can tell by my words and my state of mind, I'm not gonna remember. So we're just going to watch it, react, and make this into a video. But before we do that, please like and subscribe. The boy is doing well. He's happy. Be happy with me. Join the grind to stardom. We need 100 subscribers. So let's get it. Okay, so before I start, I will say that Whatever Podcast likes to do this thing. They're Red Pill, by the way. But they like to do this thing where they bring on a bunch of OnlyFans girls, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but they're women of a certain profession. And they also like to bring on the girls that are on their side, uh, very conservative, very loud spoken, right? So it's interesting. But sometimes, they do bring people of intellect, which is Farrah over here. That's the Mia Khalifa lookalike, whatever, right? She's an intellect herself, so it's very interesting to see who they bring on. With that being said, though, I think these are Kirby tattoos, which I enjoy. I mean, I don't think it's Kirby per se, but I think it's something from Kirby. Regardless, let's start.
Well, they seem to be traditional, so I'd like to talk about like what their standards are for a female partner.
You talking to Justin or?
All of them,
I'm curious about that too.
Start with Justin. Let's start with Justin.
because you're willing to provide 100% for a woman. So when I asked earlier strings attached, I didn't mean in terms of her putting out for the date. I meant like what woman qualifies for that treatment.
Now, if I had to answer that question, someone I love. Simple as that. Once we get to that love stage, once I say, "Oh, I love you," and I really actually mean it, yeah. That's no strings attached, right? I mean, I think that's something that has to be built upon, though. It's not so easy to just immediately be like, I love somebody, and then there's no strings attached. No, you build upon it. You build a backlog, a history. You figure out what it is you guys are trying to do for each other and separately. See if you guys can mesh each other's goals together. And then after that, yeah, someone I truly love, someone I'm in deep love with. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'll be unconditional, no matter what. So let's see. But let's see. Hey, let's see what Jay Waller has to say. The one of the red pill gurus. Let me show you. On the left, no, I forgot. Yeah, no, on the left, Roland. He's what's it called? The modern man. And then there's Michael Santorum. And honestly, I think I like Michael Santorum a lot. He's red pill, yes, but he's more based in reality. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then we got the host of the show, whatever podcast, right? I forgot his name. And then this is Jay Waller. So let's see what he has to say.
Loyalty. Um, I think positive feedback, giving appreciation. See, the beautiful thing about love really is that when you give to your family tells you how much they appreciate it. That's what makes it fun, right? That's the beautiful thing about love is to be able to take care of somebody, provide for them, protect them. Ideally, somebody who's very intelligent that I can connect with on an intellectual level is very, very important to me. I think it makes it better, particularly if it's going to be any kind of long-term thing, not short-term like just sex. Like if I'm going to be around this person for a while, I'm going to want to respect them mentally, and also I want that person to be on my mission with me, like supporting my mission. So particularly, like let's say I met a girl like you. If you were doing OnlyFans, at some point you would recognize the path that I'm on and want to get behind that program and support that program with all of your talent and your efforts and everything. So I think a man should be able to give a woman a mission to get on with him, but is on the path that he is leading. A man should be the leader in the relationship. And for that reason, I'd want a woman that could get inside of my frame, and be happy to be there. So in a nutshell, that's what I'd be looking for.
Okay, so you wouldn't want the woman
Okay, so before she responds, I'm not going to bullshit any of you. My relationship experience, it exists, but it's not like anything serious. With that being said, I do believe the man, has to be the leader in the relationship, right? But I don't think the man has to be the one that forces or convinces a woman to go upon their goals or aspirations, right? We're together in a relationship just because we love each other, or we like each other, or we want to get to know each other, or anything like that. We just choose to be with each other. It's not a need, it's a want. You understand? And it becomes a need when we love each other, I believe. But besides all that, I think when we do the whole relationship thing, we're looking for someone that we can be with for a long time, forever, right? Some people want someone that's submissive. Some people want someone that's domineering. Those relationships exist. But there's also the 50-50 relationships where we're on our missions together. We're doing separate things, but we're together doing it. I don't need my girl to be on the same mission I'm on. It'd be good. It'd be great, especially if I'm successful and I'm like really doing the shit, right? I would love for everyone in my squad to be on my team in business if I'm doing well. But if not, it's not the end of the world at all. I'm just doing my thing. She's doing her thing, but we're still together at the end, right? Because we're doing us together. So that's how I see it personally. But let's see how Farrah counteracts.
to get off OnlyFans because it's like sex work, but just because that's her individual career path and you'd want her to kind of like abandon her career for your path, or specifically because it's OnlyFans/sex work?
OnlyFans wouldn't be ideal, I can tell you. Like, I probably wouldn't like that if I'm being 100% with you. But as far as her wanting to do something that she's passionate about, if she wanted to work and for whatever reason she had a passion in some area, I would support that. Ideally, she'd want to help me with my mission, but if she wanted to do something that she was passionate about, I would let her do it. Now, would I wife up a girl on OnlyFans? No, I wouldn't. Would I look past it to get to a place where I could build her to somewhere else? Yeah, I would. And I think that is a man's job, is to build a woman up to where he wants to go. For example, if
I know I'm interrupting him, but even though he is red pill, ultimately I don't disrespect what he's saying. I want to be able to build myself up so that not just my girl, but everyone in my fucking life can be good. That's what I want to do. I want to retire certain people. I want to have certain people work for me, work with me, right? I have goals. I have inspiration. I have aspirations. So I understand what he's saying on that level. Truly I do.
you meet a woman, you should be wanting to build her up so you can take her with you to meet those millionaires that are going to invest in your deal, or the billionaires on a boat in Dubai. That a man's job should be, in part, to build a woman up to the highest level he possibly can. So it's an investment that the man puts into a woman to try to build her up and make her the perfect partner for him, and that's just a part of it. So yeah.
Okay, that part, it's that part I have to disagree with. It's not about building your girl up to be the perfect person for you. That's not what I believe people go into a relationship for and should be seeking. It's about building up the relationship that works for you. Perfection is tough. You're not going to find perfection. If you are looking for perfection, you'll never find it, and you'll always be unhappy. That's a fact. I can tell you that much. But if you are going into a relationship, your ultimate goal is to want to be with that person for a indefinite period of time. You should, if you're looking for, that's what a relationship is. A relationship should be for that serious efforts, I believe, personally. So it's not about building the perfect person, because you'll never find them, right? It's about finding a person that you can mesh with and enjoy and love and all that. I once heard something where They said a person will only change 10% for you, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people that like apparently change their whole life for someone, right? And I think those are the people that are not in love but are lost in life. But they say a true love, someone that really loves you, 10% of them will change for you, right? Which means you have to love them for the 90%. I mean, honestly, you should love someone for all percentages, 100%, 10% or not, right? But that's just something I heard, and I don't disagree. I don't think it's something that's that static, you know. I think a person, if they truly love you, they'll change a little bit for you, and you will also for them, right? But isn't that what love is? Anyhow, let's continue.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
That makes sense. So the cardinal thing you look for is loyalty. Can you characterize what makes a loyal woman? Because like depending where you fall in like the red pill spectrum or even not the red pill spectrum, some guys consider a woman, you know, going to parties or even like having a public Instagram account an act of infidelity. So what do you consider a loyal woman?
I would probably have the
See, I hate interrupting, but for me, what I think loyalty is, it's just don't cheat on me, right? Uh, Act like you're someone that is in a relationship. You know, if you're dating, if you're making out with someone in the back, I don't, you're cheating on me. If you have sex with someone else, you're cheating on me. If you're talking to someone else and you're like giving them equal amounts of time or even more time than me, you're cheating on me. Even less time than me. If you're entertaining someone else, you're cheating on me. Like, you can go to the club, you can have fun, you can party, you can do whatever the hell you want, right? You can dance with guys at a salsa club. That's not the issue. The issue is if you give them the same kind of energy you give me. That's the issue, right? I'm not the kind of guy where it's like you can't have guy friends or you can't know anyone that's a guy or anything like that, right? If I feel some type of way about it, I'll feel some type of way about it. But I will never say don't have this person as a friend or don't hang out with this person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that kind of guy. But if you kiss the guy, especially if we start dating and you kiss the guy, like, come on. Come on.
have the password to the Instagram account. If it got very serious, I'd be able to see every message. Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want the messages. I don't want the phone. Like, you can search my phone if you want. I mean, I would rather you not personally, but if you want to, it's whatever, right? I don't care. Cause I don't care to search yours. I did that once. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. That was just a bad relationship, honestly. But I'm just not that guy. I can't be that guy. If I'm that guy, then I'll go insane. I I will go insane. I want to just relax in this love life of mine. I really just want to relax. Like, I want to relax in life. I want to go through all the bullshit now and then relax later. So I hope a lot of people want to adopt that too.
And she wouldn't have a problem with that because she'd want to be inside my frame. Women don't want space from men they're actually in love with. They don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, women want nothing more to be enthralled by a man that they actually want.
So
They're like, please let me give this to you. I want you. That's the kind of that's the kind
where I
of
was gonna go.
and you can't fake genuine desire.
Yes.
So it's not transactional at that point. At that point, you would want to do everything that it took to be a part of that man's life because you were truly in love with him.
Sure. Does that lack of space go both ways? Like, would she also have your passwords or
Absolutely
no?
not. No, she wouldn't.
So how does she feel your genuine love? Just from the financial aspect of you caring for her and
See,
building her up?
I'm glad you asked that. It's very, very important that the people in the red pill space start to include the fact that you're there for her. You'll sit there with her knee and knee, like you are truly best friends. You are emotionally there for her. I also say a lot that a man should be the mountain that a woman's emotional waves crash into. He should be there for her fully. This isn't like big G pimping type stuff. He's truly there for this woman in every way. They're talking all the time. They're in a constant contact. They love each other. It's true love. Is it dark? Yeah. But listen, if it's not me and you against the world, if the love's not dark, if it's not me and you against everything that everybody's saying, I don't want that love at all. Because that's that boring shit that ends up going off anyway.
That's a little weird. I don't want dark love. I do agree, it's us against the world. That's 100% facts. But is the dark part the fact that she has to give your passwords and you don't have to give your passwords? I don't understand. Why can't it just be equal? Why, if it's not transactional at that point, why can't it be mutual? It seems like it is transactional. It seems that she has to give up 100%, and then that's when you can allow her the liberties of, let's say, your 50% or your 2%. Like you can give off whatever the hell you want, but she has to give up everything. It's not adding up, my friend.
So many people get married every day in America. They make these vows to be, you know, hey, I'm going to be the best man I can be and all this other stuff. But they come home, they pop open a beer, and they get fat. You want a man that's actually on a mission, that's out there trying to do something so he can make your dreams come true and take you on a carpet ride through time and space. Nothing more.
I completely agree with the notion that a relationship should be two individuals building each other up and pushing each other. I'm just trying to investigate the asymmetry and why you would have her passwords but not vice versa. Is it that you wouldn't trust her, or is it that you'd want to monitor the messages before they come in so that she doesn't see them first? Like, what is the intention?
No, she would be able to see them, but it's just a trust thing between me and a woman. Like, you would want me to have your passwords. It not even me. If you were in love with said man, you would either want to either get off of it.
There it is.
Or, yeah, because
There
you
it
have to
is. Keep
understand as a man, like you, for example, beautiful woman, very smart too, by the way. I think you've been pretty impenetrable on this show. I'm very impressed by you. This isn't Riz, like just genuine compliment, truly. But your marketing yourself on the internet would be a no-go for me, because if you were truly giving yourself away to a man, you wouldn't market on the internet. And I do look at it as marketing when a woman has her titties all over the internet. And that's no disrespect. That's just, if it were my girl and I'm the person that's doing everything I can to fight and make her life 10x what it'd be without me, then that would be a simple expectation. And I don't think that's too much to ask.
I think that's 100% your prerogative. My issue more is when men have asymmetrical standards. So they want a girl who's not showing her titties on Instagram, but then their explore page is full of Instagram models and they're liking their posts or they're watching porn. So for me, if I found a guy who wouldn't want me on Instagram and that was the love of my life, I would just want him to not be on Instagram either. If he wanted my passwords,
Sorry, go ahead.
if you want my passwords, the same cuts both ways. And if anything, it makes more sense for the girl to have the guy's passwords, because guys will be the first to argue that guys are the first to stray.
Okay, so I can't really make the argument about the straight thing, but I will agree with her on just the mutual thing. Well, it's just so simple. If I'm really in love with you, I'm just going to be mutual. I don't... It's because when it comes to red pill, right, the whole aspect of it, the biggest pull for a lot of people is that you can be promiscuous. You can have multiple women, because if you're a high value man, that's what they prioritize. If you're a high value man, you're allowed to just date whoever because you're just high priority, right? And not only whoever, you can date whomever at the same time. So that's the whole pull, right? That's what these men are. They're high value men, so they can be promiscuous. So that's why they don't share the passwords. That's why they're not fully invested. But that's why the woman has to be invested, because it's an honor to be with a guy like them. It's an honor to sleep with them. It's an honor to have their name associated with yours. So that's pretty much, I think, what he's getting at without trying to get at it.
Related to the asymmetry thing, so I kind of want to add a little bit to that. So, for example, do you think that a guy who desires a woman with a low body count, who doesn't have a promiscuous past, yet, for example, he might be promiscuous, or he's got a bunch of women, or he has a high body count, do you quarrel with that? Do you take an issue with that? Because you mentioned you have an issue with asymmetry. Do you have an issue with that?
100%. Like I said, I think it's your prerogative to find someone who matches your values. I'm highly selective. I want a partner who's also highly selective. I don't think that maps onto body count, because, for instance, if a girl tells you, like, I have 80 bodies, you can't deduce how selective she is, because that could be...
No, you can deduce she's not selective if she has 80 bodies.
You can't.
Yeah, that's a bit high.
You can't,
pretty
because...
That's a bit high.
Wouldn't you argue women have access to fuck every single man on this planet?
sure.
She still has a 99.9999% curve rate.
80s.
That's
So
not
that's
80.
80s, you're proving my point. That means 80 is
a lot
pretty
of
high.
That's
That's a
like-
lot of penis.
I'm
dick.
saying
Lot of
context
penis.
That-
is
that's
important, and
A
I
ton of
wouldn't...
penis.
Context
A
is
ton of
important,
penis.
I wouldn't reduce it to just a number. For instance, body count usually just refers to penile vaginal sex. Like, would you consider her
count, too.
selective if she has just
Anal.
a ton of lesbian sex?
But she's like fucking
blowjob
ran
actually
through. That's the
counts.
issue. She's ran through.
Ran through,
And here's
ran through in a
here's
very
bigger
specific
problem.
way. They don't
Ran
care if
through in
you
a
they don't care if you fuck 1,000 women, but one guy.
Dude,
they care
Yeah,
about.
wait,
I
let's
don't
be
really
very
want to
clear
get
here.
AIDS, so yes,
Everything
I do care
between-
if they fuck 1,000 women.
Hold on.
Sure, but typically the traditional body count conversation doesn't care about that.
Here, let's have Justin come in. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to be very clear about this. You're looking for a fair situation, but newsflash: the light world is not fair. Like
Men
that
and women
man,
are different.
that man is going to get up and go through stress every day and face the challenges of the world while you have a pretty cush life. Men have always slept with multiple women. It's not fair. It's bullshit. I know it hurts. I know it sucks. I know it's not a good thing to say, but it is absolutely true. And you are at the top of your sexual marketplace value. And
How old are you?
there's going to be she's
24.
24.
Am I past it? Yeah.
Yes. No, you're at the no.
You're about to hit
I'm
the
2
wall.
days
Sorry,
old
sorry.
in
So-
24.
No, it's all good. You're probably at the top, but let me tell you where you're not. You're not at 30 where you're out of time and you want to have children and you're absolutely in love with the man and he loves you in every way and you feel safe around him. You're not in that position yet, so you can't see an outcome where you would give a little to take a little back. And I'm cool with that. But I will tell you this, when you get up higher in age and the clock's ticking and that man's good to you and you trust him and you feel safe around him and he's truly your best friend and you look up to him and admire him, then you might think differently about how you feel now. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just telling you that your opinion might change in time.
Sure. My point was in response to his, which is would I have a problem with the asymmetry of wanting a woman with a low body count while having a high one? And I would, because what I consider a valid reason for preferring a partner with a low body count is that it's better for pair bonding. You're less likely, if you don't have that propensity to seek novelty, you're less likely to stray. People who are more promiscuous, they tend to be more unfaithful.
Correct.
That cuts
but those,
both ways.
Those studies do not. The studies clearly show that is far, far more likely the case with women than men. In fact, in some cases, after a certain amount, it's negligible with men. With over 20, when women have slept with over 20 men, it's like a 17% chance that she's still happy in a marriage. For men, it does not show that drop off. It does when we're talking about virgins. We're talking about two virgins, yes. But the thing, the question you asked before, what is the one thing before you went to the bathroom that you're most upset about with dating? It's that people don't look up these studies. That is the one thing I'm the most upset about. People are listening to Oprah Winfrey and Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and Dr. Phil, and they're not listening to Dr. David Buss and Stephen Stewart Williams and Gad Saad. There's studies on every one of these questions that we have, and they've been handled. Beauty is not is subjective. It is objective. The fact, like hypergamy, is not something that is created. That's cultural. We know now that it's genetic.
Sure, let's stay on topic. So my point
No,
was
but
that like
that
guys
is
are
your
seeking
topic.
virgins, so the reciprocal.
All right, I want to come in here. So he said two things, which I disagree with. Hypergamy, would I say it's genetic? No. I tell myself all the time I have the Haitian curse, and Haitians are known to cheat. Sorry, Haitians, it's true. But it's not. I don't have the desire. I can choose to do it. I can choose not to do it. It's just that simple. So it's not genetic. It's mental. It's just who the hell you are. And then the other thing he said. What was the other thing he said?
Beauty is not is subjective. It is objective. The fact.
Beauty is subjective. What the fuck are you saying? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, I 100% disagree with this one. This one, beauty is what you see. Do you understand? Do you know? Oh, this may be the worst example or the saddest example to bring, but do you know how many men that are super skinny are with women that are not super skinny? And it's like, okay, maybe I don't have that attraction, but obviously, clearly that man does. You're going to tell him that he's wrong if he's grinding, going at it, and he dies with her, right? You can't tell me that's not love, That's definitely love. So if a situation like that in its most extreme exists, then all these other scenarios in between exist as well, which means beauty is subjective. It's what you believe. Not every man is coded the same. Not every woman is coded the same. You're just taking the hyper examples that you see on the internet that are, blasted in your face. You're taking studies that, may have some basis, but are ultimately based in the realm of propaganda, right? Like, I'm a little too hyped. A little bit too hyped.
Like hypergamy is not something that is
Seeking a study that proves that when both partners are virgins, there's a higher, like the pair bonding is more intense.
correct. So
Yeah, but you're not
find
going to be
men who
attracted to a man that's a virgin.
Yeah, that's
in
the
any
other
way.
problem. Yeah.
But
I
guys
just-
typically, when they talk about body count, their ideal body count is 0 in a woman. So I was giving you
Right,
the
right.
converse.
Uneducated guys who don't fuck.
Yeah,
Those
those
are the
guys don't
that
have sex.
don't.
Look,
Yes.
you want a low body count. I'll say a single digit number is probably what you're looking for as a man.
I'm not even saying I'm looking for that. Like I said, I don't think you can deduce selectiveness from a number because context matters. You could have gone through a breakup and been traumatized and maybe fucked 80 people in 1 week, but then
That
you were
still makes
abstinent
you
for
a
No,
hoe.
6
I'll say-
years.
I'll say
That's
that was a
still-
broken
that
bird.
still
No,
makes you a hoe.
that's
Can
a
I
broken
just add
bird.
something?
Go ahead. I got one, but go ahead, let her go.
Okay, I just think, okay, you're overcomplicating things. Again, everyone's overcomplicating things. I don't think anyone wants to sleep with a woman or settle down with a woman who has 80 bodies. That's disgusting.
How am I overcomplicating? I'm
No,
breaking
I
down
just think
why.
I know you're breaking it down, but it's something that doesn't need to be broken down. Most people, if they hear that you have 80 bodies, they'll be like,
That's good. That's good.
I bet
That's
she
good.
fucking
Keep going.
has
Hold,
AIDS.
let me tag something on at the end of that.
But what if she doesn't have AIDS? And I'm assuming she showers, she's clean and everything, right? I just there's no issue. There's no issue. There's no issue.
That there. The reason why men have a sexual, I won't say revulsion response, because there's a human revulsion response, but it's intense for certain things, like you want to get away from a dead body. Like you want to get away from a dead body. You want to get away from things that smell, like feces. Fear of heights. There are things that human beings are instinctually want to get themselves away from, okay? When you're looking for, when a woman, it seems like she's easy or she's...
All right, we gotta stop and talk about this comment. Glasses, stop talking like you know men. Real men don't care how you feel or how you think. It's not real. We want what we want. Boom. And the worst part is that this guy donated $100 just so she can hear it. Like, my guy, you're a loser. This guy's a loser. Fuck out of here. I'm not even going to justify what I said. He's a loser.
had 80 bodies, or she has children from another man, there is a hesitation in men that is instinctual. And the reason for that is because that woman represents a bad bet for his paternity. That's why the body count matters to guys, and it doesn't matter quite.
Okay, I don't know if it's about paternity. Maybe it's more so just like, okay, let's say I met a girl that had 80 bodies, and I'm thinking about my body count, and I'm just like, ooh, can I even match up? Would I be even good? Like, I'd be more nervous about my abilities. That's like the only thing that'd be going on in my mind. I'm not worried about my paternity, my ability to have kids. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I guess I would also worry about, AIDS and stuff, but I only worry about that if I'm going like without protection. Excuse me. If I'm going with protection, I'm fine. So it's not a big deal.
As much to women. For a guy who has a high body count, I believe it was Sterling who was saying this, is that that is like one of the highest ways of demonstrating higher value, or pre-selection. That's what it was. Because if a guy knows his way around your body better than you do, you know he fucks. You know that he has been rewarded by other women who have had sex with him in the past enough so he has the experience to know what he's doing in the bedroom.
Right.
So there's that aspect. But then the other part of it is this, is that the reason why promiscuity works one way for men and it does not work for women is because of that paternity. It's the understanding and the ascertaining whether or not the child is his child. Because since we were living in hunter-gatherer groups on the sub-Saharan African
up until
plains,
1980.
Until we could actually
Up
have
until 1980, we didn't
DNA
have
tests.
paternity tests.
Yeah, so men have, it's been in our biological, evolutionary, innate interests to know or to try to ascertain whether or not the baby is our baby. So that's why men mate guard. That's why when women and men get jealous because of infidelity, men tend to focus on the physical act. Did you have sex with him in the bathroom? Did he come? Did he have a bigger dick than I did? Did you get off? Those are the particulars that guys want to know when infidelity takes place. When a woman gets jealous because of infidelity, it's, do you love her? Am I losing my investment? Is my long-term security with this guy, is that in danger? That's where that jealousy comes from. So there's differences because men and women are different, and we have different priorities when it comes to reproduction as well as family creation as well. So when we're talking about 80 bodies, when you say, hey, I've had 80 guys, that's a pool of 80 men in which one of those guys, or probably some of those guys, could have been the guy that you can't get over. Or maybe he's the guy that, whether he did or he didn't, doesn't make any difference, but he's still thinking, like on a hindbrain, lizard brain level, that there's a possibility that she was impregnated by one of these guys and she can't get over that guy. You're a bad bet for my paternity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Okay. A lot to break down there, so let's just start with I would like to say that we both don't think the same, men and women, in a lot of things, but I think ultimately, this is what I think. Any rational individual is going to think, why did you cheat on me, if they figured out why someone cheated? Now, all those other questions are valid and they probably do come after, but I think the most important and the first question is, why did you cheat on me? It can be assumed that there's a lack of love. It can be assumed there's, all these other stuff, right? But the most important question is why? What's the reason? And then they say the reason, and then you can, divert into all these other things. Like if she says you're bad at sex, that's why I cheated on you, then you can worry about your dick. If she says you're not emotionally there for me, then you can worry about how you are as a person that speaks. Like, shit like that. But I think ultimately the first thing you're going to worry about is the why. So this whole paternity thing, I think that's like the last thing someone's going to worry about, because you're worried about the relationship itself. Unless she's pregnant, you're not worried about, she could be pregnant by all these other dudes. That just seems like a very non-factor to me, honestly. And it seems like a way to pull historical evidence and biological necessities into one in order to allow promiscuity in men, which is very, very, very far-reaching, if you ask me. But
Your response?
I just love that we revert to these primordial justifications for wanting a woman with a low body count when guys are fucking with condoms.
Where else would you go
When
with
guys
it?
find it
Where
hot
else
when
would you
girls
go
are on
with it?
birth control. If guys' main prerogative is to like spread their seed, then why is it they're looking for women who are on birth control? They're attracted to women with IUDs.
They're not.
It's not an
They're not.
intellectual
There's no
thing.
study.
I didn't say it was.
They're not.
They're not
I'm
cognitive.
saying we
They're
use
not
biology
doing
as an excuse when in reality biology
nobody's using
refers
it
to
as an
life
excuse.
and life's
Using it as an
processes, and our
excuse. And we're using
capacity, our
evolution as an
capacity
excuse,
for
not
culture, our
primordial.
capacity for culture falls under biology. Our development of paternity tests, birth control, condoms, that all falls under biology and our capacity
Culture
for culture.
is downstream from biology.
Yeah, I
You
think
don't get you don't get society, you don't get social construction without biology first that drives that.
Yeah, I think you're over intellectualizing a lot of this. Like like you said, it could be boiled down to
she's under intellectualizing everything. She wants it simple down because she can't handle it. Sorry, I don't like this girl. I know who this girl is on these podcasts. She's just a simp. I don't like her.
biology.
That's
Like-
not a response.
Well, no, I just think that
It's a
you're,
response.
No, it is
but
a
what your
response.
question is it right? And his response is, this is why it is. So the problem is, what people will do is they'll say, this man is just, what is this, a small dick energy, or whatever thing that they have to say to make or denigrate men for having some sort of preference. And the reality is, these things happen because men have 17 times as much testosterone as women. And throughout our evolutionary history, we are the ones that were the disposable gender. And because of that, we compete with other men for women. The men who make it to the top throughout history have had more sexual partners. That's just the way that it's been. It's not an excuse. If you have every right to think it's wrong if you want to think it's wrong, but it's not hypocritical because we're different. If you and I were to join the Marine Corps, I have to do more push-ups than you because the world is different for men than it is for women. If you and I were to join the fire department, I have to do more pull-ups than you because men and women are different. And so in this case, it's the same thing. I am not sure of the paternity of the child, of your child, but you always are. And because of that reason, your body count will always matter more than mine. That's just a function of biology.
That's the justification for not being polyamorous, not having a high body count. So that makes sense why you wouldn't want your girlfriend to be fucking 10 guys at once because you wouldn't be able to discern it. If a girl fucked 80 guys 10 years ago and has been abstinent still, how does that justification
Doesn't
apply?
matter.
Fucking
It's an
disgusting.
innate
It's
hesitation.
still.
Okay, I also just wanted to say on the topic of biology, women literally they menstruate around like male testosterone. Like the more they're exposed to testosterone, the more they have sex, the more their cycle will align with that because of a very biological thing.
What did you
And men will do the same when they're exposed to estrogen.
point?
My point is that you're just intellectualizing again something that is very basic.
What does menstruation have to do with this?
Because-
Basically,
Because women, sorry,
Go for it.
I'm not finished.
That's all
You should be finished.
So you should be used to this,
Okay,
right?
but you said go ahead and then you
All right,
said
just
I'm
go.
Okay, okay,
Just
what I
go.
was just
Say your
saying-
thing.
Oh my god, thank god it ended there. Oh jeez. So that was just a clip. But as you can see, the red pill, I mean this is an old clip. I know this is like from a few like months ago or something. This is not like a recent. They recently posted this, but this is very new. I mean old. Regardless, yeah, it's just a lot of shit. This is the red pill. This is it in general. So just know that you can be with whoever you want, right? It's all about accepting the consequences, understanding who you are and who they are, and just being happy. If you're not happy, don't do it. But if you're happy, why not? It's so simple. That's if you want to boil it down to simplicity, there's your simplicity. You don't have to make it any more complicated than that. Accept the consequences and be happy. Yeah. So with that all being said, thank you for joining me on another video. This is Tsunami. I enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace and much love.